So, you're looking at something right now and you're thinking about doing it. And I bet you're asking that question, what's next? You've done all the stuff that we talked about. What's next? Come on, let's go. Let's find out what's next. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, and this is a Bipolar Perspective presented to you by Noir Apologia Gaming. And you're probably asking, what's next? Well, this happens to be the title of this video. What is next? Let's see here. Let's stack it up, right? So you have your person to talk to, maybe multiple people. You have your person to vent to, get advice from. You have the desire, obviously, you're here, right? You want to better yourself, so all that's there, and you know you're not alone, right? So you have all the ingredients to for this cake you just built, or excuse me, make. I guess you don't build a cake. Technically, you do build a cake, but you don't build a cake. Anyway, so you build a house, okay? Now you're on the steps and you're compartmentalizing. You're putting things where they need to go, and you bought some new furniture, and you're continuing to work for it, right? We've gone through all of these steps. Now you looked around and you're at the top, and you looked around and you're like, wow, look how far I've come, right? That is what the feeling, and the feeling should be, at this point, you've come a long ways, however, wherever your journey started, right? You've come a long ways, and now you look around and you're like, wow, I really effing did this. And you feel the pride, but you're starting to get, it's like, okay, so what are we doing next? You're like a squirrel, right? Well, what is next? That's up to you, obviously. You should be finding out, you should have found out about a little bit about yourself, stuff you might want to do. Let's do it then. What's the problem? Right? The desire that you should be feeling is basically, you see this mountain you just climbed, and now you want to climb that one. Maybe that one's got pitfalls you've never experienced before, but you're like, okay, I did this one. Yeah, I might fall off the cliff and die, but that looks fun. And then you plan it out, and maybe you get somebody to help you, your advisor, your significant other, whatever. That's what you're feeling you should be getting. Now, from my standpoint, that's why I'm doing this business. That's why I'm doing this, because I've never done this before. I don't think you guys understand. I really haven't done this before. Like, this isn't, I didn't go to college and I'm making it up, and I dropped out of college and really I had the talent. No, I've never done anything like this before. And it started with a stinking trip. It started with, up until I planned that Pikes Peak trip, I never completed anything in my life, right? Well, it got me gitchy, got me happy, got me excited, but then it went away because the trip went away, and I planned another trip, and you don't get to take 2 trips in a row, so it ended, and I was like, oh, what do I do? Well, one thing led to another, and it stacked and stacked and stacked. And here we are. I was just talking about this with Dwan, and I never realized the work it really does take to do this. And what I mean by work is, it's not I'm not doing construction work. I mean, I guess I suppose like could be your definition of work, but no, it's not that kind of work. It's I'm doing things that I never thought I could do, like plan out a schedule. That might be silly for you, but you gotta understand something. And a lot of people with bipolar disorder will tell you it's hard for us to sit down and just get down their schedule. I'm very much of a whim kind of talker and so forth and so on. Like I only do, I only, you'll hardly ever see outtakes from me for this because I don't necessarily, I don't necessarily need them. You know, I come from the heart and so forth and so on. I just think works. It's more effective for me personally. But even when we get on this camera, and then I'm studying graphics, and I'm doing Adobe Illustrator. I got some cool stuff coming down the pike that I'm practicing. Some 3D stuff. It's pretty fascinating, right? Some effect stuff where I can make walls blow up behind me. Like you imagine me go looking behind me going, and then the wall, and then like I just like Blender and just all the stuff I'm gonna be learning, and I am learning right now that you guys are not, because I'm pulling you behind the curtains a little bit. I know right now this is just the beginning, and there's still a long ways to go. Oh, and I'm having to learn finances and how to run the business and the nuances of okay, do I do it this way or do I do it this way? And I double check and triple check everything I can. I look up all the information I can on YouTube to figure out how I can make this work through YouTube and through the website to get everybody funneled towards the website. I have to plan out all these things. I'm so passionate about this. I have a direction. I saw that next peak, and I did not hesitate to go this time. You know, you remember what it was like before you started changing, wherever you might be. Maybe you're, this is the beginning. Maybe you click on this video. Well, if you click on this video first, I suggest you go backwards and go look at the other videos, because if you have done this and you are in the middle process of changing your stuff, you remember what it was like before. Maybe it was like this for you. That how many opportunities did you get? You passed up. How many opportunities? How many do you think? Put in the comments below. Like I said, we're talking. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you have to say. Even though you don't necessarily know what I'm doing all the time, you can give me ideas for this. I am going to have to hire people at some point. You're my workforce, right? Basically, I'm going to have to pay somebody to do some of this stuff. I can't always do it all, right? Right now, I'm able to do it all because it's small. But it is amazing how far I've come. From a guy who couldn't do anything without his mind just racing all the time, And let me just give you insight on what the future right now is. These videos, okay? So Mondays at 9 o'clock in the morning, these things go, right? Now we've gotten to the steps. Now I'll go through the steps again. I'll continue to repeat the steps. But we're going to talk about all sorts of things like this, like what's the next, and so forth and so on. This was a little more simple subject today, because we've had some difficult stuff to talk about. No, it doesn't always have to be difficult. But on Fridays, I'm going to launch something else. I'm launching something starting on, I do believe, the 29th of October. And basically, I'm going to start going through different things like anxiety, anger, rage, mania, just different thoughts that some of us have that stop us from continuing on in life, and giving an explanation, maybe giving you some ways you can cope with it. That's what I'm going to start then. Like I said, I have stuff in the pipeline. I mean, I have more than that too. I'm just not going to talk about it yet. But today was a simpler subject, and just think on this, okay? Before I let you go, think on this. What's next should always be the question you ask. That's how you know you really have changed your mind frame. What's next should never be like a forced thing. It should not be a forced thing. So, with that being said, I love you guys all. Be safe. And remember, this is all up to you. All this is up to you. May the Lord of Light bless you in all things. Bye. I have bipolar disorder and PTSD, and I was in that position. I was a broken man 15 years ago, and I fixed my life. And everybody talks about changing this world, and so forth and so on, and everybody talks and talks and talks, and they never do anything about it. Well, here I am. I'm going to do something about it. I'm tired of the misconceptions about mental disorder. I'm tired of the directions that some people try to give to people with real problems in life. Really examine your life. Want to without knowledge is ignorance. If you don't know what it's going to take, if you don't know why you're doing things, why you want to change your life, there is no there's no point to it. I want to create desire in you to change your life, especially if you have been abused, if you have been told all your life you're a loser. You should examine why that is. I was a loser. You understand? Like 15 years ago, I really was. You do need advice. You can't have just one set of eyes on your life. You have to have perspective, and you might not want to hear it. Do you think I wanted to hear that I was a loser? I didn't even want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. That's why I drank so much. Good Lord, I was an alcoholic because of it. I didn't want to deal with life. So check this out. Like, I didn't believe in myself. I hid myself for so long. I don't want other people feeling like that. I know what it feels like to be you. I really do. But you don't have to be.